Good evening. Welcome to Your Mental Health Matters, brought to you by ONV. My name is Crystal. I am your host for this evening, along with Miss Tammy.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes, we are
Mhm.
back. We are good to be seen by you guys. We are excited about our topic for tonight. And so
Mhm.
tonight, we want to kind of tap into what it means to be a strong Black woman,
Oh.
right? We hear that all the time. Like,
Mhm.
we have to be like this strong Black woman,
Mhm.
you know? And so I want to kind of break it down to a point of soft life versus survival mode,
Okay.
right? And so let's tap into survival mode. What does that look like? What does that consist of? What does that mean if
Mhm.
we're living in survival mode?
Okay. So we're gonna just jump
Yeah,
in.
let's get it.
Survival mode. That right there is like you're always on it, on the
Yes.
go. Whether it's taking care of the kids,
Mm-hmm.
taking care of parents,
Mm-hmm.
the job,
Right.
just always on the go and not having a moment to really sit down, appreciate, and really do some self care,
Yeah.
which we're missing a lot of
Mm-hmm.
these days. So,
Yeah, it's like our nervous system is always on alert.
yes.
Like we're, like you said, always on the go. It's
Hmm.
like we're always on,
Always on.
you
Yeah, that
know?
was the word.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
It's like we can't breathe,
Hmm.
and it just is exhausting.
And why is that?
Yeah.
Because we don't have enough time right now
I know.
to go through all of that. But
Yeah.
why is that? And
Yeah.
I know it's that's a rhetorical question
Right,
because we
right.
have a number of things that can contribute to that.
Mm-hmm.
And man, where do we start with it?
Yeah.
Because the way of the world now is just like constantly on. There used to be a time where even the TV went off at a certain time where we
True.
could get rest.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that quote unquote strong Black woman title, it has some negativity tied to it as well
Mm-hmm.
because it's not received well from other cultures and what have you,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's
which is
true.
unfortunate. Yeah.
That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to kind of add to what you were saying. So being in survival mode, always being responsible.
Mm-hmm.
As an example, um,
We
rest, like you said,
mm-hmm.
can't really rest.
We have always, I don't know if you remember the
Right.
term, like from the our parents and our grandparents, it was always said that we raise our daughters and we love our sons. You ever heard
Oh,
that
yes.
term?
Uh-huh.
So in looking back on my own, we were
Mm-hmm.
taught early on how to take care of things, whether it was the
Mm-hmm.
household, whether it was the laundry. And I mean, at a young
Yeah,
age, you
I
knew how
believe
to
that.
handle a household,
Right.
basically with the cleaning, the cooking, and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you want to go back a couple 400 years ago
Hmm.
or so or more,
Mm-hmm.
um, we were always expected
Yes, the
to be the
expectation.
the
Right.
stronger species if you have.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot ties into that.
Yeah. And you made
Yeah.
a good point about society.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they put us in this box,
Mm-hmm.
that expectation, that we have to be strong.
Right. But we put it on ourselves too.
True.
And why? And then where does it stop?
Mm-hmm.
Why do we do that? And then where does it stop?
Yeah.
So,
Do you also believe guilt plays into that? Think about,
mm,
like, okay, yes, I have a lot on my plate. I have a lot on my shoulders. I can't rest. I can't, focus on me. You'll feel some type of guilt, if that makes sense.
it makes sense. I don't think it's conscious guilt.
Right, right.
So it might be some unconscious, and I think it's built into us to be that way, to
Mm-hmm.
take care of things, to get things done, and we don't know how to stop and
Mm-hmm.
rest. And I'll just say myself, for example, and that's just me. When I do sit down and I have a few moments, I'm always thinking about what I need to be doing.
Yeah, very true.
What's the
Yeah.
next thing I need to be doing?
Mm-hmm.
And we just get into that mode. And again, society plays a big part of it now because everything is all 24/7 now.
Yeah.
Whether it's the stores, whether it's TV, whether it's I don't know, the kids needing something, the parents
Right.
needing something. I think we're just built that way to be expected to
The
do.
expectation. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe that.
And having on that with that superwoman cape. Yeah.
Girl, you was reading my mind.
Yeah,
That's the
superwoman.
picture, the image I had in my mind
Yeah.
of this superhero woman, like wearing that cape.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's holding everything.
Holding everything, but that'll break you down and tear you down.
That part.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that impact our mental health, our physical health? How does it show up? If we're constantly on the go, if we're constantly not resting, if we're, struggling to ask for help, feeling like we have to have it all together.
All together.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that pressure, and I'll start with sleeping for one.
That's a big one.
When we miss out on enough sleep and the proper rest, not just sleeping, but getting that proper deep sleep for rejuvenation and restoration, that will start breaking your body down, I think, the quickest out of anything else. Yeah. And then if you think about if you're always on the go, you're not home cooking a solid meal, with some the healthy foods and what have you, then you're in the drive-through buying a bunch of junk or grabbing things at the gas station. So then you can look at it in that way of tearing down your physical body. So all of that plays a part. And then, of course, a lot of times you're not having enough time to really do some exercise, even if it's just going for a walk, even if it's just being in nature. So I think physically it's going to start with the lack of sleep. Because when you don't get enough sleep, that starts messing with your mental.
That's a whole
quick,
nother level.
fast. Yes.
Right. The irritability.
Oh, yeah.
The lashing out.
Depression. All of it. Yeah.
So I know one big thing that we all struggle with when it comes to being in survival mode is feeling like we can't say no. Not being able to set those healthy boundaries.
Right.
So why do you think it's hard for people to set boundaries?
Because most of us are people pleasers. Most of us are people pleasers.
Yeah. That's a real thing.
And I don't know, for each individual, but from what I see, most Black women tend to be people pleasers and want to get a job done, want to do it well.
Want to do it well, yeah.
And a lot of times don't want to ask for help because that is considered, quote unquote, a sign of weakness for whatever reason.
False.
Yeah. What'd you say?
So false.
Oh, yeah. And I think that is a learned thing, So maybe it's a conditioning of how we teach our girls now, so.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's a little bit of what survival mode can consist of, what it can look like. Let's tap into the soft life. What is that?
What is that?
Yes.
I've never heard that. So what is that? You're going to have to do the definition of that. Yeah.
So break it down. It's pretty much the opposite, right? Being intentional with making sure you get that rest. Making sure you're intentional with setting healthy boundaries.
So when I hear that,
go ahead.
You say the soft life.
Yes.
So it brings it back to the one with the cape.
Yes.
The superhero cape. Right. Because then you think about a lot of times in history, whether it's personal, professional, whatever, a lot of times in history, Black women are expected to do just as much as the man, right?
Right.
And you don't see them as being protected to have a soft life.
Right.
So that's the way I see it. And you can take it, kind of how you take it, but that's the way I see it because many times in history, and that's from our own experiences, Black women just have not been protected on the level of others that live the soft life. So we have to get things done. Yeah. Because if, what do they say? Superman, Superwoman ain't showing up. So you got to do what you need to do.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, it has to get done.
Yeah.
And you
can't
really,
wait.
Yeah. And then you feel like you can't rely on anybody. There's no there's not anybody
Right.
when it comes to.
Yeah. And I won't say that that's everybody's experience,
right.
but for a lot of people that is.
I believe
and soft life, I've never heard that until today. So that's where I look at it.
Okay. It's a real thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Okay.
But again,
it's a beautiful thing that we don't experience a lot.
That part. And that's why I want to bring this attention to how can we get into the soft life era? You're right? Because again, life, everybody's lifing. But at the same time, it doesn't have to be a part where you're like surviving.
All
you want to thrive.
Stretch.
Right. Yeah. You want to be able to thrive when things are coming your way.
So let me get an example of a soft life. No. You have to tell me.
Yes. Okay. So many of you out there might have the same curiosity. What is the soft life?
Yes.
So some examples that I have listed on here. Rest without guilt.
Okay.
Right? Setting those healthy boundaries, being able to say no. Receiving support. Because again, we can, give it, but it's hard to receive it. Because again, you feel like I don't need
or you don't deserve it.
Good point.
And being celebrated more often. Yeah. And appreciated. That plays a part into it, I guess.
Yes,
with
it
the
does.
soft part. Yeah.
It does. Moving at your own pace. Okay. And prioritizing joy. And I kind of look at that as being able to kind of fill your cup up.
Okay.
Be intentional with self-care, making sure you're taking time out for you. Because it's like, how can you give if you can't give from an empty cup?
Right.
You can't pour from an empty cup. So again, you got to be intentional with creating that soft life, creating that time for yourself.
So you said prioritizing self, or what did you put? Prioritizing joy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I guess people will need some examples with that. And again, I think it has to start with the conditioning of how we're raised, how we're raising our daughters. We raise them to be strong. And unfortunately, a lot of times they don't experience that soft life for whatever reason in their home life, their experiences, and they feel like they have to be, this tough one with the cape on. And then by the time you're 20 or 30, you don't know how to break that or change it up.
That's true.
Because you never experienced it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Oh, it was very hard. And especially when you see it generation after generation.
That part.
Yeah,
so again, being able to kind of take a step back, have that, be intentional. Like you want things different for yourself.
Right.
It can be different.
Yeah. And I believe it should be on a daily basis, not on a daily basis, so it can be a part of our lives, not like a scheduled event and you have to be conscious of it all the time. How about making it a part of our regular daily healthy life? And I read something this week. It said doing healthy things versus being a healthy person.
Ooh,
and the difference was doing healthy things. You'll say, oh, okay, I'll eat some carrots today.
Okay.
Even though you don't really want it, but you're not going to do that on a regular basis. You're not going to eat healthy just because you think it's healthy.
Right.
Versus being a healthy person, it's like you're conditioning your mind to let's change the lifestyle. Let's make this a part of our lives.
Yeah, creating healthy habits.
Healthy habits, which eventually become just a routine.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. I think that kind of plays into the soft life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so let's break that down even more. How can we be intentional with experiencing or creating that every day? An example I'm thinking like at the beginning of your day, set the tone at the beginning of your day. If you have children, trying to get up a little bit earlier before the house start moving, it sets the tone, it sets that peace for yourself.
Getting some peace and quiet. Yeah. Peace time, quiet time in meditation or prayer. And like you said, I like that part. As far as the early part of the day and being quiet and being still because we're going to have plenty of time to get busy with it.
Man,
Yeah.
that
And then,
part.
yeah. And then once the day is started, you still need to take moments throughout the day and then regroup yourself, I think, and then without distractions, without gadgets, without phones, and without, I guess, other people having input.
Right.
Because it's always good to step away from our everyday life in the end, morning, maybe in the afternoon, and then in the evening too.
Yeah.
When the house is settled, get those moments before you actually start winding down, because that helps you start to relax, and then calming your body down, reviewing what you did for the day.
Right. Self-reflecting.
Self-reflecting, congratulating yourself on what was done, what was accomplished, not being so hard on yourself for the things that can wait until tomorrow.
That part.
Yeah.
I like that. Because I get a lot of moms. I'm a licensed therapist, and I get a lot of moms, especially single moms that feel like they don't have those moments. And I always have to encourage them, like, you have to create those moments. You got to prioritize yourself, because where is it going to come from but you? And so, yes, you got to be intentional on how you set the tone at the beginning of your day. And just throughout your day, you made a really good point. Be intentional with just taking a step back and just pouring into yourself. Whether you're at work, if you need to walk away from your computer, step outside, get some fresh air,
sunshine.
Making sure sunshine now that we in springtime.
Woo-hoo. Yes. First day
we
of
made
spring.
it. Yes.
Yeah.
And so, yes, that's going to play a big part on our mental health. And then the evening time, wrapping it up, making sure that you have a good nighttime routine. Routine.
Yeah. And that comes with, especially if you have little kids, making an earlier bedtime routine for them so you can have that hour or so is so important. And if it's reading or just kind of chilling, getting your favorite show on TV or what have you.
Yeah, so, I'm telling you,
it makes a difference.
It makes a big difference. It really does, because you don't feel rushed. You got that time to yourself. It's like, okay, this feels really, really good. And so, yes, if you have children or whomever, make sure they have a really good nighttime routine, and then leaving time for yourself at night. A lot of times people like to get on their phones at night. Please come up with some other activities. I'm guilty of it too. Yes, we're human.
Because it just keeps your mind stimulated. Because once you see something that's interesting, then you're going to go to the next one. And then before you know it, it's an hour or two.
Video.
Yeah, you have to put that down.
Please,
Oh my goodness, I don't want to get into my little bashing of this. But yes, we need to turn off the blue light. That's what they call it.
The blue light.
And get some relaxation. Let your mind come down and kind of set everybody else and everything else to the side.
I like that.
Because I don't know, that's a part of rejuvenation and pouring back into ourselves, and then regrouping for the next day. So I just don't get it. I'm not trying to judge.
No, not
but
at all.
It just keeps you on. And therefore you're getting into your sleep and rest time, and you just keep the cycle going.
Can't shut your mind off. Mine is always racing.
And who did what, and let me forward this, or whatever the terms are. So
journaling is a great outlet. Getting those thoughts on paper. Gratitude journaling, like doing the self-reflecting, thinking about things that you were grateful for during that day. That will really ease your mind, put you at rest. But then next thing you know, hopefully you be off in la la land.
La la. Yeah. You know what I found relaxing? And I don't do it all the time, but I have a nature CD.
Ooh, okay.
And it part of it has like the storms, the water. Oh my gosh, that is so relaxing. Yeah. And then of course remember Calgon baths? They don't make Calgon anymore.
Oh, okay.
But there was it was like a bubble bath for women. And there was a commercial, Calgon Take Me Away.
Oh.
And that was basically saying, let me get my self-care in. Okay. So get yourself some Calgon baths. They don't sell Calgon anymore, but you get my point. Relax.
Bath bombs.
There you go.
Those right there, they help. They really do.
Yeah, relaxation.
Yes, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is good. Some other examples of survival mode versus soft life. I have listed here. Survival mode. Do everything alone.
Mm.
Soft life, you receive help.
Okay.
Hustle equals worth. Soft life, rest equals necessary.
Mm.
Survival mode, hyper independent. Soft life, interdependent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Survival mode, urgency. Soft life, you're slowing down. And the last example they have listed here, survival mode, suppress emotions. You honor your emotions.
With
You,
soft life.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, acknowledging what you're feeling, recognizing what you're feeling, and being able to be okay with,
Mm-hmm.
feeling what you're feeling.
Mm-hmm. So I would
That's good.
encourage, because I know you mentioned single moms, because I
Yeah.
do know that they struggle the most,
Yes,
with
yes.
that, especially young single moms, and feel like sometimes that there's no light at the end of the tunnel,
Right.
And thinking that they have to do all things by themselves.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's going to take readjusting your schedule. Some
Yep.
things you can't do right now, but what you can do,
That's
and
good.
make a good balanced life for you and your kids.
Right.
Do what you can, and then wait on the rest. Make a priority list.
I love that.
And then work
great
on
idea.
that for the few months where you can get good balance for
Okay.
your health, for your mental health, for the kids' well-being, because that's the other thing. They model what they see. Because if you're
Yes.
all straggled and frustrated
That's true.
all the time and yelling and screaming and cussing all the time, that's going to reflect on them in their behavior at school. So
Yeah,
we
good
have to
points.
consider that.
I like that. So setting small goals. I like that. Baby steps. Again, can't do everything all at once, because if you think about everything that you're trying to do, you become, very stressed, unmotivated to a point where you don't do it at all. And so set those small goals, baby steps to get those things done. I like
And
that.
then the support system for the single moms. If you have friends that are in the same situation you are, maybe alternate weekends, or once a month. So and so will watch the kids for you for a couple hours, so you can have those moments. And then
like
also having a mentor.
Yes.
Get an older mother who could be a mentor to you,
Right.
to kind of guide you.
Somebody a little bit more seasoned.
Right. In experience with what you're going through and where you're at in life.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's good. Okay. Yeah. So we're into the healing steps. So you gave some great examples. Some other ones that I have listed on here is redefine your strength.
Oh, yeah.
Redefine what that looks like. Practice safe rest. Be intentional with that. Challenge your guilt. So if you're having this guilt come up because you're feeling like I can't sit down, or I can't give in to, what I need to do for myself, challenge that guilt. Don't just let it sit there. Build your support, build your network, that village when it comes to getting help and knowing that you're not by yourself. And then the last one I have on here is honor your emotions.
Okay. And those are all excellent.
Yeah.
And what comes to mind to me is the individual who never saw that. So what do they do to come to the redefining the strength if they never saw it?
Right.
And honoring themselves if they have never seen it.
So that's a great question. So the way I would look at it is ask yourself, what I'm doing right now, is it working? Is it really helping?
But we have to think about compared to what? Because if they didn't have it or see it,
right,
how can they get to it? And I know we mentioned mentors and we mentioned maybe extended family and what have you, but I'm thinking of those who didn't have that.
Okay.
And that's just something, we need to consider.
Right.
And I'll say for those of us who are more seasoned, if we come across maybe at our church, maybe in community, of someone who may be struggling in those areas, be encouraged to speak to them and break the ice of having a conversation to see, if you can establish relationship or a bond with that individual when you see the struggle.
Yeah, that's a good
in
point.
an individual. So that's, that comes to mind. I don't know why that sticks out to me.
I mean,
because,
it makes sense. Yeah.
I do know a lot of people don't have the quote unquote perfect upbringing and perfect life.
Come on.
And unfortunately, some of them are looking to social media to find the guide, and that's not always the best thing to do. So,
how about mental health? Can we pay more attention to that? So, what I mean by that, like if you're struggling with emotions, if you find yourself always angry, irritable, feeling anxious,
that's definitely a sign of survival.
Yes.
So,
right?
Yes. And again, it's about, for me, and that's the approach I always take, is you got to get down to the root of it in order to change it.
Yeah.
Because if you're not going to get to the root of it and you just want to kind of medicate it, whether it's, drinking, smoking, self-medication and what have you, doing some destructive things, what we need to realize is that once you stop doing it, that issue is still there.
Yep.
So,
it's the core.
Yeah, I think it needs to get down to the bottom of the root, and you can build from there. Once you identify what that is, then we can build from there and start encouraging the healing.
Yes, the healing needs to take place. Good point. Yeah. All right. So, great questions that I would like to, address to the audience. Reflection questions, right? So these are things you can ask yourself when it comes to, everything that we've been talking about, soft life versus survival mode. Where did I learn to always be strong? Great question.
Mom. Mothers.
What does rest bring up for me? Great question, right? What would a softer life look like? Just think about what would that look like if I'm trying to get out of survival mode. Where am I over functioning? Right? What am I always, in that place where I'm always on?
Like, what do you mean? Like, is it at work or is it at home?
At work?
Or is it all of it?
A little bit of all of it, to be honest with you. Yeah.
So basically, where's your struggle?
Yes, the struggle. Okay. All right. So again, this is the podcast that we're just discussing survival versus soft life. And how can we be intentional when it comes to changing that narrative of being always got to be that strong Black woman. And we want to change that. And so some affirmations for having a soft life. I love affirmations. Affirmations is a beautiful thing. I am allowed to rest. I release doing everything alone. My softness is safe. I deserve peace. So these are things you can kind of start saying to yourself, or come up with some of your own, but we got to start somewhere. If you're trying to get out of survival mode and you want to thrive, we got to do some things that are different.
Right.
To get different outcomes, right? It doesn't have to be the same old. It's just a matter of taking a step back and doing something different for my life. Make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. So any closing thoughts? We getting ready to wrap up.
Other than making sure we identify, where it's coming from.
Right.
Embrace it, because I don't want them to feel like it's a bad thing or a negative thing. It's just, who some of us are. And I identify with that too. It's just who we are. However, if you want to change that thing about you, you do have to identify it and be able to address it and put the action in motion.
That part.
Yep.
That part.
So that's pretty much for right now.
For
I know,
now.
I know we can go on.
But this is just an intro.
Yes.
Hopefully we can continue on with this
and
conversation.
don't be so hard on yourselves.
Please don't.
Yeah. Keep
Please
loving
don't.
on yourself. Get the self-care in. Yeah.
I love it. All right. So this is Your Mental Health Matters. We have some announcements that we would like to make. Miss Tammy, you have an announcement that we want to present to the community right now?
So tomorrow here in Fort Wayne at the Renaissance Y from 1 p.m. to about 3 p.m., we will have the annual drug and alcohol awareness for the youth ages 8 through young adults. It is a free event. We will have refreshments. Again, that is at the Renaissance Y from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And that's the youth drug and alcohol awareness.
Whoop, whoop. Whoop. All right. And then I have an announcement from Uniquely You Counseling and Wellness. We are putting on a paint and brunch event for Mother's Day. This will take place May 9th. And so we are selling tickets right now. Come and get this experience. We're talking about self-care, right? So this is a great way to pour into yourself. We'll be providing the food, your paint supplies, the experience, giveaways. We'll have people there to be doing massages, cares, like anything that has to do with pampering you. So come out May 9th, and this is from 10 to 12. Check us out on Facebook. We have an Eventbrite page where you can purchase your tickets. So again, this is Your Mental Health Matters. We are here first and third Friday of each month, and we hope to see you guys back here in April. Take care.
Good night.